So today we'll be looking at a section 3 style question called Pick the Middle. This type of question will involve rearranging 5 images in a logical sequence with the answer being the shape that lies in the middle of the sequence. It's important to note here that the specific technique I'll be using for this question only works when there is a 4-sided shape with all corners filled. The good news is that 4-sided shapes come up quite frequently in these style questions, for example with boxes, crosses, diamonds and so on. In this question you can see we have 5 squares, each with 2 components, a pink and a green ball. The technique that we'll be using for this question is called mapping, the rule being that we draw a separate map for each component. There are 2 components in our shape here, therefore we will draw 2 separate maps, one for the green ball and one for the pink ball. The base shape of the sequence will determine the shape of our map. So here you can see the base shape is a square and therefore our map is going to be made up of a square. We can now mark the location of each of the components, or each of the balls, using the letter of the square that it falls in. So map out there the green and the pink ball. Now I'd like you to draw a dividing line and we'll focus solely on the green ball's map. In order to identify our answer here, we must first know that in a 4-sided shape with all corners filled, there are only 6 different possible logical sequences. 2 of the sequences move 1, 1, 1, 1. And the rule for this is that you start on the double up position, so that is EA here. So starting on E, we'll say, we can move anti-clockwise going E, D, C, B, A. We can start on E again and move clockwise E, B, C, D, A. So the other 4 sequences move 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. And the rule for this is to start opposite to the double up. So that letter here will be C, opposite the EA double up. For the first of these 4 sequences, we can move clockwise 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, giving us C, D, B, E, A. As you can see, we couldn't have finished with A, E here. Therefore, our second sequence, we will just repeat the same and reverse the last 2 letters, C, D, B, A, E. The last 2 sequences is the exact same process except moving anti-clockwise. Once again, we started on C, moving 1 to B, 2 to D, 3 to E, 4 to A, and similarly, we just reverse the last 2 letters. This is the hardest part of the question done. Now in order to solve this question, as I said, we have to test out each of these logical sequences on the map for the purple ball, and that is the square on the right hand side here. Only one sequence will be logical for both, and that will be our answer. Looking at the first one, E, D, C, B, A, you can see that it moves 1, 1, 2, 3, which is not logical. The second sequence there is also not logical, as it moves 0, 2, 1, 2 from E, B, C, D, A. The next sequence, C, D, B, E, A, moves 1, 1, 0, 1, which is not logical either. C, D, B, A, E moves 1, 1, 1, 3, which isn't logical. C, B, D, E, A there, next moves 2, then 1, then 3, then 3, which isn't logical, so we can put an X next to that one as well. And then finally, the last sequence there, C, B, D, A, E, moves 2, 1, 2, 1, which is logical, and therefore this must be our answer. The middle of this sequence is D, therefore leaving answer D as the one that we will mark correct on our answer sheet. So even though this took a few minutes to go through, with practice you can become slick and fast at getting through this technique and eventually solve them within a minute. If you found this helpful, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out our Hpat membership packages.